Hey guys, good evening. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to IFOL Inspirations for Your Life. No, it's a little bit late. Had a trip coming in a little bit late from the airport, and then there was some bad weather. So sorry for the delay, but we did get the show out to you guys. Great to have you with me. Whether you're here with me now at 11:08 p.m., 11:08 a.m., 3 a.m., 3 p.m., or maybe even another time, such as 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. Doesn't really matter. Thank you so much for being here. We have a really amazing topic this week that I'm really grateful for. And that topic is what we don't know about our bodies, Series 3, Show 29. The master topic, that's for the week, but the granular topic for the night is humans are the only species known to blush, Series 3, Show 29, episode number 5. Yeah, did you know that humans are the only species known to blush? So according to Merriam-Webster, because that's where I always go, what is blushing? So blush is a noun, okay? Outward appearance, like a reddening of the face, especially from shame, modesty, or confusion. A red or rosy tint. Cosmetic applied to the face to give a usually pink color or to accent the cheekbones. To blush is the verb. To become red in the face, especially from shame, modesty, or confusion. To feel shame or embarrassment, or to have a rosy or fresh color. To bloom. So now that we know what the heck blushing is, right? We know a little more about, what blushing is. That's important. What makes us blush? So blushing comes from a condition that happens in our body, okay? It's an emotional trigger that causes a psychological response. And this is according to Dr. Small. He says that the glands release adrenaline to your body, which causes the widening of capillaries. So blood causes the widening of capillaries. And in that, they come closer to the surface and you see the redness. So that's a pretty cool thing. So it's triggered by emotions, again, that send blood to your face. And so it can happen from embarrassment, shame, could just be a rosy thing outside. Sometimes people blush when they kiss. We blush when we show love for someone. Again, it's an emotional trigger, okay? And the glands in our body cause this to happen. So what does it actually mean when we say this? Like, what causes this? I think that's really what we want to get to. Like, there's a hormone. What hormone causes blushing? Does anybody know? What hormone causes blushing? If you had to guess. Do I want to guess? What hormone causes blushing? So basically, as we said, it's the dilation that causes a true blush. And they mysteriously are governed by the hormones adrenaline, when the trigger is such embarrassment, oxytocin, when it's provoked by certain types of thoughts. And so we now know what the root cause of blushing is. Wet blushing is flushing associated with increased perspiration. It's thought to be caused by an overactive sympathetic nervous system. So there's something else about blushing that I think we need to learn, is that blushing is here to help us regulate the sympathetic nervous system and control the diameter of blood vessels to the face. So adrenaline causes your blood vessels to dilate, causing what they call a vasodilation, in order to improve blood flow and oxygen delivery. And this is what happens in blushing. The veins in your face respond to a signal from a chemical transmitter, adrenaline cyclase, which tells the veins to allow adrenaline to do its magic. And so it's interesting to understand that, everything happens in our body because of a signal. We don't just sneeze because, we just want to sneeze, right? There's a reason we learn that we sneeze, because it actually helps to flush out any impurities at 100 miles per hour. Our sneezes are, right? We learned about the ear the other day, right? We learned about that. So I think it's important to know that these systems in our body work. And the reason I want to do this week was to, first of all, let you step back and be in awe of all the amazement in our body and the miracles that are created. I think that's really the main reason that I want to, that I want to bring this to your attention. And so, by bringing it to your attention, I hope you can appreciate how our body works. Does that make sense? But we've heard about blushing for a long, long time. Back in the ancient societies, there was something called the history of blush. That's actually what they call it, the history of blush. And so, we were talking about things like lip and eye makeup and things like that. And so that's where the blush, and it came from the concept of the blush from our bodies. Okay. The history of blush goes back to the Tang dynasty, 618 to 907 in China, when their empress, Yang Guifi, was a fashion leader for women and known as one of the four Chinese ancient beauties. Emperor Zosong was infatuated with her dark, silky hair and peachy red skin. At the time, blush was made from dried safflower, which was not easy to get. Does anybody know who the first person was to blush? So blush was first used by the Egyptians in 3000 BC. In the 1800s, wearing cosmetics made people think a woman had bad character, so people from time to time would pinch their cheeks to make them red. Some blushes can have a shimmer, but most are flat in color. Now, when I say blush, I'm talking about this after effect. I'm not talking about everybody's blushing in the body, because, see, we've been blushing since we were born. And so I've been like, well, how or why are we blushing? Like, I mean, it's just like, like, how does it even happen, right? So we have the Egyptians to thank for, creating a product that puts the foundation on our body. So why do girls use blush? Well, looking flush could point to embarrassment at the notion of intimate relations, and it could also make some gentlemen basically prey on their vulnerability, signaling their dainty, demure, and virtuous woman. And it could also be overtly sexual. So that's why it's important to hide your blush, because it kind of gets rid of that could be there. So it kind of fixes the color. So either way, blush's sexual connotations help solidify its status as an essential cosmetic. And so we now know why humans blush, I hope. Again, mostly your cheeks will blush. They'll turn pink or red when you're embarrassed or you're self-conscious. And the emotions cause your muscles in your face to relax and the veins to widen, which allows blood to collect. And this causes red appearances in your cheek. But did you know we blush somewhere else? Where else do we blush? So there is another place in our body, ladies and gentlemen, that we actually blush. A lot of people don't know this. So we blush on the inside of our stomach, like our cheeks. The blush happens when the capillaries in the skin open wide to allow more blood to flow through, which seems to be partly to cool off and partly to express emotion, apparently. And the tissues can do this, but it's called flushing rather than blushing. Yeah, that's a weird one, right? So again, many people who use blushes run across their entire bodies, and they get a bit dizzy when they've noticed this. So when you're getting that kind of blush, that could be a problem. That could be some type of medical issue, right? People get blushes if they have head migraines, if they have something called a stomach migraine. Yes, that actually exists. It's similar to a head migraine, although the arteries expand and try to push more blood flow by the stomach, and also can cause pain and discomfort at the onset, and it ends similar to a headache. Luckily, I haven't had that, but I do know people that have had stomach issues, and it could be because of stomach blushing. So I think what I want you guys to get out of this week is that we have so many systems in our body. We talked about the eye. And I'm hoping that if you guys appreciate these things that we're talking about, you can become grateful for them, and then more things will appear in your life for which you can become grateful for. That's the truth. That is the hands down truth. So what else do you want to know about the body blushing? Again, whenever we have more blood flow to an area of the skin, such as your cheeks, the blood vessels will enlarge to compensate when the skin relaxes, and the enlargement is what gives the skin the flushed effect due to the increased blood flow. And you can also feel a warmth around your neck or upper chest or face when you are blushing. It's not just your face. So sometimes when we blush, it makes us feel very self-confident, like, oh, gee, you're blushing. And some people are okay with the fact that they're blushing. Like, they're getting red because they're embarrassed. But as long as that's handled in a healthy manner, it's fine. But if it becomes something where, you truly can't move on, then that could be a big concern. Some people blush a lot. I know that whenever I am, let's say, called up or rewarded for something or praised, I will tend to blush a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think when people blush, we don't want to hide it. But if there's severe blushing around our body, that can be a problem because, we might not be getting what we need. It could be nutrients, could be water. And again, blushing happens to help us regulate our body's organs. That's a lot of stuff. That is just a lot of stuff. It autonomously, which means automatically, regulates the glands and the organs in our body by being almost like think of it like a vent, if you want to think of it in a very simple term. So a vent is used to actually, allow heat to go out or allow, let's say, heat to come in. So now that you know what that is, I'm hoping you can appreciate like what it means to blush. And now that we're learning about these different systems in our body, you'll be like, wow, John, this is like really cool. And so tomorrow we're going to share another system. And then on Friday, we're going to do a wrap up of all these systems. And the reason I want to do that is when we start to understand how a system works, we can be kinder to it. We can know what to expect. And you might say, gee, you don't have to know how it works to use it. That's true for some things, right? But if you do understand how it works, you can be more kind to your body. Like when we talked about the eyes and things like that, you could be more kind. Even your ears, you could be more kind. And in doing so, you actually cause that part of your body to maybe work a little easier because now you're putting less stress on it. So blushing comes from an emotional type of stress. And it could be a stress that's causing you to feel, elated. It could be joyful. It could be something that maybe for whatever reason is altering your current state. Now remember, we blush on our face typically, but we also will blush on the inside of our stomachs. Sometimes we can see that on the outside, depending. But again, we shouldn't be seeing that very strongly. Normally, you'll get the blush in your face, and it will go away within a few minutes. If you're blushing and blushing and blushing, you're not stopping, well, that could be a drain on your system. That's something that you want to definitely address. maybe you're embarrassed or something that you did, or maybe you're embarrassed in front of a class or a presentation. So that can be helped because, you have to realize, and I've said this before, no one has the right to make you feel inferior about yourself except for one person, you. Hey guys, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you this fantastic Wednesday evening. I'm going to be back tomorrow, the 18th, and then to wrap up on the 19th. And I hope you guys will really appreciate this whole series about the main topic, which is this: what we don't know about our bodies. And I know you're probably saying, well, John, if I don't know about it, is it still going to work? Is my heart still going to work? Yeah, it is. But if you understood how it works, you can actually help it to work better by being healthier. And I think this is a really important thing. And I want to share something about heart health for a moment. So many years ago, when I was probably 250, now I'm like 165, you could feel your heart, now not in pain, but you could feel your heart pumping harder when you're fatter. When you are at a better weight, your heart doesn't have any kind of aches or pains. And those aches or pains that you were getting, those are like mini wake-up calls. Is it a heart attack? No. But when I got those, I said to myself, hey, you know what? I need to live healthier. Even though I do a lot of things healthy, I said, I need to lose this weight. No one's telling me, but, going upstairs is easier. My life is easier. And so if you keep treating your body well, like every other day I go for a run for 60 minutes. And I got to tell you, it feels really great after that run because I'm, pumping the blood and I can literally feel my heart pumping faster. And I think just the fact of knowing that I'm going to tell you, so I lost the weight over 7-8 years ago. Since that happened, knock wood, I don't think I've had a twinge in my heart. I don't think I've had one little, call it minor heartburn, which some people do get. I haven't gotten that. And I attribute it to not what I'm eating. I attribute it to the amount of skin that I have on my body. And I'm still on a journey down to probably lose another 5 pounds. And then that's probably it. I think when we can appreciate how our body works and how just being healthier can literally get rid of simple aches and pains. If you have knee pains, leg pains, by losing the weight, you put less stress on the body. And when you put less stress on the body, guess what happens? The body responds in kind. I hope you have a fantastic evening, everyone. And I'm going to catch you guys when? Tomorrow. Have a great night, everyone.